What would you do if you woke up one morning thinking life was perfectly safe and steady, and within minutes, the FBI storms in, flipping your world upside down, forcing you to question everything you ever knew about the person you loved most? That's exactly what happened in Unlocked Family Secrets Episode 3, where a seemingly normal family morning explodes into the wildest reveal imaginable. If you want jaw-dropping twists, hidden identities, and heart-wrenching choices, this episode's recap is going to keep you at the edge of your seat. So, let's start from the beginning. Cheryl Love, the story's narrator, paints her family as happy and stable. She's got 4 grown children, a supportive husband named Bobby, and a faith that sustains her. Life feels secure and predictable until Cheryl hints at a storm brewing beneath the surface, a storm made of secrets that threaten to destroy everything she's built. Even from her early narration, you feel an uneasiness, a chill of, what is Bobby hiding? And why does he act so strangely around his family? Bobby is kind, funny, a provider, but certain things about him are off. He hates getting his picture taken, he avoids talking about his past, and gets especially defensive when family gatherings come up. Years go by, and the question nags at Cheryl. Why can't she meet his family for any normal reason? Why did his family leave the wedding immediately after the ceremony, giving no chance for real conversation? Cheryl's suspicions bounce between the possibility of another woman or some mysterious, unspeakable guilt. When Bobby's brother dies and insists Cheryl shouldn't come to the funeral, things feel even shadier. Their children, Jasmine, Jessica, Justin, and Jordan, all sense the mystery too. Jordan, in particular, begins to realize that Love might not even be their real last name, adding another layer of confusion to their family identity. Bobby never gives straight answers, leaving the kids and Cheryl with only vague backgrounds and memories. As time passes, Bobby alternates between moments of normality and stretches of cold distance. He's a hard worker, holds 2 jobs. But after losing work in 2008, his mood crumbles. Cheryl grows more and more reliant on her church community and begins interpreting Bobby's behavior as hiding something monumental. Then, everything falls apart on one wintry January morning in 2015. Cheryl wakes early to make tea before work. Jordan heads out to school, and an aggressive knock at the door shatters the peace. Cheryl opens the door to police officers and FBI agents, guns drawn, barking orders. They charge into the house, and the blinds are finally ripped off Bobby's secret. The officers confront Bobby, "You had a long run," and demand his real name. In a matter of seconds, Cheryl's world tilts. The officers coldly tell her, "Ma, move back. You don't know who this man is." In a blur of fear, disbelief, and sorrow, Cheryl finds herself at work, desperate for answers, eventually receiving a call from Bobby's lawyer who reveals that Bobby Love is actually Walter Curtis Miller. Shock rocks the entire family. Cheryl, along with their daughter Jessica, meets Bobby at Rikers Island, where he confesses he escaped prison nearly 40 years ago after being convicted for a string of armed robberies, including bank heists, and had lived under the alias Bobby Love ever since. Bobby recounts a tragic childhood, losing his father to a house fire, and drifting into petty crime for survival. This escalated into full-blown robberies, and eventually a 25 to 30-year sentence in a North Carolina prison. But Bobby, the man Cheryl thought she knew, wasn't just a criminal. She listens as he tells of a life buried in that one impulsive decision. The hardest betrayal. He never told her. He only told his sister and planned to keep it hidden until his death. The family is in shock, overwhelmed, questioning how they ever missed signs or whether their love was real. Bobby's prison story gets more intense. Transferred to a lesser security honor grade, he seizes his chance. On a November morning in 1977, Bobby sneaks extra clothes under his prison uniform, leaps off the prison work bus near the woods, ditches the uniform, and quietly boards a bus to New York. There, he improvises and invents Bobby Love, the name he'd carry for the next 4 decades. He slips into civilian life, finds work at a Brooklyn hospital, and eventually meets Cheryl. They fall in love, marry, and build a life, but the secret hangs over everything. Now, in the present, the consequences come crashing down. Bobby faces extradition. North Carolina wants him back to serve out the remainder of his sentence. Cheryl is both hurt and bewildered. Do decades of love outweigh the deception? Should she stand by him or walk away? Eventually, the episode reveals her decision. Her faith and their shared history convince her to stick by his side. The next stretch of story is brutal. Bobby's health worsens in prison. He's stripped of his cane, isolated, and facing a decade behind bars. The family rallies. Cheryl writes to him every day. The emotional connection grows deeper. With the truth finally out, Bobby pours himself into honest letters, faith, and prayer. Cheryl organizes a campaign with their pastor, friends, and even appeals to President Obama. Their goal: plead Bobby's case, show how deeply he has changed, and fight for his early release. Months pass, hope flickers, and finally, good news. A parole hearing is set. Cheryl speaks from her heart at the hearing, describing Bobby's transformation, his devotion as a husband and father, and the pain they've survived. The parole board listens. It's a tense, agonizing wait, but just after Christmas, Cheryl is told Bobby is getting released. The family's joy is explosive. Bobby steps off the bus, Cheryl runs to him, and the reunion is pure catharsis. In the aftermath, they all grapple with questions of identity. Do they return to Miller or keep love? Bobby chooses love, literally and figuratively. He says, "We are love," symbolizing the new man he's become. The family embraces him, knowing his transformation was self-made. He rebuilt himself outside of the prison system. The episode closes with Bobby active in church as a deacon, devoted to his family and faith, with the final message echoing forgiveness and the possibility for change. So let's wrap it up. Unlocked Family Secrets Episode 3 starts as a gentle family story, but unleashes a tsunami of twists, and at its heart, it's about the chaos of truth, the pain of betrayal, and the power of forgiveness. We see how deep secrets can shape entire lives, but also how love and commitment can sometimes override the past. Bobby's journey from criminal fugitive to redeemed family man reminds us that people can change, even if it takes decades and a crisis to bring that truth to light. If this story shocked you or moved you, make sure you let me know down in the comments. What would you do in Cheryl's place? Would you stand by Bobby or walk away? And if you loved this recap, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping true life recaps and deep dives. See you next time.